So we're just on the line. We don't know what happened. We got kicked off, but we were talking about how to raise immigrant kids in the Western world, and we were at the point we talked about um, be involved, affirm their strength, let them participate with other kids, don't keep them in a bubble. And then we were at the point where we talked about what to watch out for: isolation, where the kid is spending too much time by themselves, or just by themselves in the room. Isolation, we got to watch that for mental health, depression, evidence of being bullied at school, or on the tablet for so long, or just some things that you got to watch out for. Isolation, because an idle mind is a workshop of the devil. And then number two things to look out for is also on the number 1, 2 is long-term being on the app, on the social media, on the tablet. They'll say, "Oh yeah, I'm doing homework, Daddy. Oh, I'm doing homework." You gotta investigate. You have to make sure that they are doing homework, because look at it this way: all kids will grow up to be great. But it's our job to make sure that we pave that way. We guide them, because they don't know all the answers. Parents have been there, done that. At least most parents have been there, done that. They want the best for their children. They want to guide them. They want to help them to be successful. So it is our responsibility to help kids to take the right path. It is not the responsibility of the state. It's not the responsibility of the police or the police department to raise your kid. So raising your kid is your responsibility. Raising my kid is my responsibility. Raising your kid is your responsibility. So that's our responsibility. So we got to keep an eye on them. It is a priority. It is not secondary. It is primary. Our primary duty as parents is to keep an eye on our kids. Now, keeping an eye is not like control or macro-managing them, because in the Western culture, Western world, when the people say keep an eye, means, oh, you're going to be managing the kid, I just let them do what they want to do. Yeah, some kids, you can let them do what they want to do, but kids who are dealing with culture shock, kids who are dealing with environmental issues, identity crisis, you have to be involved. You have to be involved in their lives. You have to be there with them. Celebrate with them. That basketball game, you have to go there. That soccer game, you have to be there with them. That program, you have to try to be involved with them. The third thing to be aware of is the kinds of friends. Evil communication corrupts good manner. Monkey see, monkey do. Not that our kids, I'm not trying to refer to them as monkey, but I'm just saying, people do what they see, okay? So if your kids were hanging out with kids who were fighting, guess what? Your kids will start fighting too. It's just a matter of time. Or they will see fighting as being okay because their friends are doing it, okay? So you just want to see and make sure what kind of friends your kids have. If the kids they have or the friends they have are doing drugs, definitely they will consider that to be okay. They may not do drugs because they see their friends doing drugs, but they may consider it to be an okay habit or an okay lifestyle. And again, it's just a matter of time before they implement that approval into action, right? So friends, okay? So if you don't affirm them, if you don't keep them in positive social environment, then comes the gangs. Then comes the controls. Then comes the gangs, the thug life, and you name it, street life, and so forth. We don't want that for our kids, because we travel thousands of miles, escaping bullets, escaping wars, and people from many parts of the world with different situations came here to better themselves and to create a good future for their children, right? So the least thing you want is your kid hanging out with the wrong crowd. And if you see that, cut it off. Okay? If you see that, cut it off. If your kids start hanging out with the wrong crowd, bringing their pants down, not wearing belts, walking like they always angry. Some of the red flag is that the kid is always angry. Call them, sit with them, ask them, what is making you angry? Talk about it. Take them out, talk about it. There's a reason why they are always angry. It may not be something that happens at home. It could be at school. It could be a teacher. It could be a classmate. Okay, it could be something. So check with the kid. Ask them, sit with them, talk with them. Okay, so when you start to talk with the kids, they will sit down and chat with you, and you can get to know what's going on in their lives. So being that friend for your kids, being able to listen to them for your kids, not allowing them to have friends that will mislead them. Okay, so those are the things that you keep an eye on. Now, drugs. I've talked about this before. Drugs is a major problem in America, and it's becoming a major problem in the world. Drugs are not good. Okay. Now, one of the things I wanted to say is that sometimes you live in a place where you have better jobs, you have better income, you have better housing or affordable housing, and the school is bad. So it's kind of hard to move. And, we ourselves face these challenges. All parents face these challenges. You live in a nice neighborhood. Let's say you live in a neighborhood, you got good jobs, affordable housing, but the school is bad. What do? Most parents will stay because the pay is good, they can save money, and maybe send this kid to college tomorrow, right? Yeah, gotta look at that kind of decision again. Sometimes you're in a good neighborhood, good school, but there are no jobs around there. Okay? How do you pay the rent? Good neighborhood, good schools, the school is good, the kid is doing good, but the rent is high and there are no jobs. How do you reconcile that? This is why we bring these programs, so that we can discuss, share ideas, and share insight and break some of these things down, because there are some people who are dealing with this dilemma right now. They live in a very good community, very good school for their kids, promising future, but there are no jobs and the rent is a killer. I would say you gotta focus on your priority. Okay? The income can always wait. But laying a good foundation for those kids is very important. So you can either decide to commute the kids, bring them to the school, or work around that. And sometimes at the time, some people really need the money. They need the money to go back to school themselves. They need the money to, save. There are a lot of things that parents have to think about it. So, but do not compromise the kid or yourself to be in a community that is maybe not so best, so to speak, and then the kids start to, learn from bad people. Okay, learn from bad people, because when those bad behavior are exposed to their head, it's kind of hard to take it away from them. So, just pay attention to the environment in which you move. Whether it's for cheaper housing or better jobs, pay attention to that. Second thing is guns. Guns is a problem in most Western world. It's a problem. And how do we address that? Again, there are some kids who go to school who never heard, see, or smell, whatever. They don't know anything about that. Okay, so again, it's association, company, who the kids' friends are, the kinds of friends that come around them. So you always want to be vigilant. And as the kids get older, you want to check in their bags once in a while. You want to see what they bring home. Who's writing them letters? Okay, you want to make sure you see those things, because you don't want something to pop up when all along it's, you didn't know about it, and now you have to, you have to deal with it there and then. You want to see who's talking to them. It could be text messages. What are they saying? What are they talking about? What are they spending too much time on the phone for? You want to know all of that. I know people say, oh my God, it's the kid's rights. The kid's right. Well, guess what? When a kid does something crazy and stupid, the law can charge the kid as an adult. That right stuff goes through the window. So don't be bamboozled and say, well, the kid has their privacy, the kid has their right. No, 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 no. It is your kid, and you have the right for your kid to be safe and secure. That is your right, and that's the right of the kid. And the way to do that is to observe, to engage in conversation, to participate in their learning process, to talk with them, to observe concerns they may have. They may have some things that they don't want to share with you. Through observing, you can, break the ice and say, look, I noticed you've been having some tough days, and I know it's about your math. It's about your math or your English, but I can help you. I'm going to get some extra help so that you can pick up and you see the smiles and the weight lifted off of their shoulder. One of the things that immigrant kids need to learn, all of us need to learn, is that the Western world does not talk the way we talk. These societies are societies that are private. Everybody's just in their little boxes, little apartments, little houses, whatever you live in, right? So we have to find a way to have our kids to talk, because this culture does not talk. They don't talk in the sense that they don't. It's kind of hard to describe it. People are to themselves. People are uncomfortable to get into your business. People are uncomfortable actually if you're doing okay. And if you're really, really doing okay, it's a surface conversation. People are afraid to dig deep. So this is one of the reasons why suicide is so prevalent in these cultures. Because human beings were designed to talk. Human beings were designed to what? Talk. Through talking, you express your fears, your concerns, you laugh about it, and someone share ideas with you, right? Someone says, oh, I did this 5 years ago. It wasn't a good idea, and, but don't do this, or, But these cultures, they don't do that. If you have a problem mentally, they tell you go and seek a counselor, go and seek a mental health counselor, right? When you call the mental health line, they have a waiting list that is 3 months away. And then they ask you to pay $300 for consultation. If you wanted to talk to someone because you felt like, beating yourself or hurting yourself, how in the world are you going to wait for 3 months to get someone to talk to you, or pay $300 to wait for 3 months or 2 months or 1 month? Are you kidding? Mental health is an emergency. Mental health is an emergency. And like every community, we are not exceptions. We have our moments too, where we don't catch certain things and it become a disaster. The point I'm trying to make is that observe your kids, talk to them, because this culture don't talk. This culture don't talk. Everything will call a mental health practitioner, call a counselor, call this one. Sometimes it's just simple affirmation. All right? Sometimes it's just simple affirmation. It doesn't have to be a mental health, a professional. Also, it just affirmation. Look, I was at school today and someone said I have a big head and a big nose and I feel so horrible. I feel so bad. Oh, you know what, kid? Paul, it's going to be okay. You're not the only one with big head. You'll be all right. You have a nice big head. That's all right. Let's go for lunch. Let's talk about it. That kid feel much better. But if the kid doesn't have that address, it becomes a problem. He comes to school the next day. He's grumpy. He's getting in trouble. Now they say, oh my God, the kid is so violent. The kid is not violent. He has just not been affirmed. He has not been affirmed to say, it's okay to fail in math. I know I fail in math. It's okay to fail in math. It's okay to not do basketball well. It's okay to not be the best dressed kid. It's okay. All right? So kids take these things personally because they want to be affirmed. They want to be accepted. The kids want to fit in, and when they are not fitting in, it's a problem. It interrupts their learning experience. They cannot focus. Sometimes not that our kids are dumb because they come from dumb parents. No. It's just that other factors serve as distraction for the kids to do well. They are not focusing on their lesson, their math, their science. They are focusing on what name the other kid called them. And the teacher did nothing about it. You see? Those are the things that they're focusing on. What the other kid called them. And the other teacher did nothing about it. So the kid comes home and feels like it's okay to be bullied. It's okay to be called names. That's what a kid thinks. Now guess what? If my kid or our kids did the same thing, oh my God, oh no. You see where we struggle as parents? And the worst thing is, working 1, 2, 3 jobs, we don't have the time to keep track of all of our kids' complaints. And sometimes our kids feel like we don't care about them. It's not that we don't care about them. We care about them. We want to be involved. But the competition of our time, the pressure to make a living, to pay for apartments and house, and back home is calling us, it's hard. You see, if you look at some part of my hair, some part of it is gray. So quick. I mean, so much stress. Exactly. We don't do that. We don't ask, and we don't know what the kids are going through. I know, many times we knew immigrants make a mistake. We make a mistake sometimes. We think that just bringing our kids to this country and sending them to school, and then the school will fix all the problems. No, the school doesn't fix all the problems. We have to work. We have to be active. We have to be involved. We have to observe their performance and even, work with the teachers to solve some of the problems. The school doesn't fix all the problems. The teacher is there to teach. So you have to be able to be involved. And it's a hard work. To raise immigrant kids in this country is a full-time job. It is a full-time job. You are on the clock. You are at work and you're receiving phone calls. Okay? And you have to be informed. You have to respond. And the last ones that I'm going to dwell on before we close here is, what do you do with the time we have with our kids? How do we maximize our time? How do we maximize our time with our kids? Spend time with them playing basketball. I always talk about basketball and spending time with them. It's not easy. It's not easy to spend time with our kids. It's not easy. I get it. It's not easy. After work, you are so beat up. You're so tired. And people calling you from overseas. And you got to do some extra school. And those of us that even want to go to school, that's even worse. Imagine going to school, working a full-time job, and having 1, 2, or 3 kids, and having a wife or husband. I mean, it's, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Whew. You've been there before. Just click a like. I know many of you watching have been there before. Raising kids, working a full-time job, and going back to school. Oh my God. In your 30s. in your 40s, some people in their 50s. It's not an easy task. It's not an easy task at all. But that's where, and that's when we have to be very careful, because if the school does not see us being involved and being active, the school might think, or the individual teacher might think, well, these kids' parents don't care about their education. They don't care about their success. Yeah. They don't care. We need to be asking how my kids doing. And ask our kids when they come home, how can they improve? Sometimes I go to the school and they'll say, oh my God, your son is doing so good. He's so good. No. I don't want good. I don't want a good son. No. I want better. I want better. I want better. We all want better for our kids, right? We all want better. Don't be carried away with, oh my God, your kids are so good. No. Always assume that your kids can do better and they can be better. Tonight I'm talking about how to raise immigrant kids in the Western world. The challenges we face, single parents, single mom, single dad, raising up a kid in a school that reports bullying those kids. Some of the kids can even go and take their own life. They can't handle it. The parents cannot connect. They can't connect with the school, or the teacher doesn't see what's going on, and they cannot overcome it. Some of them develop mental health. Their stress level goes up. They get sick. Their academics drop. This is a daily battle in the classrooms. How do we fix it? Be involved. Be engaged. Keep an eye out on what kind of friends they have. How long they stay on the tablet. You know, it's so tough in these countries. It's so cold, the kids have nowhere to go. They stay indoors almost all of winter. What do you expect them to do? Even the adults can't go outside. Even the adults are afraid to go outside. When day breaks, sometimes when I look outside and a cold breeze blow me, I say, what in the world? Is this the kind of cold I'm putting my kids in? I myself can't handle the cold. I mean, it's tough. I mean, the cold hits you so hard. It hits you so hard that you be like, God, have mercy. So the kids stay indoors. They're on their tablet. They are eating. And then obesity is another problem too. Obesity. We never dealt with obesity back home. How you know where you're going to be obese? Back home you eat one time a day when you're lucky. When you're rich, you do 2 times a day. I mean, I know there are some people who say, oh no, we're eating 6 times a day. Good, God bless you. But things are pretty tough back then. You know, during the Civil War. But our kids now, we have food. It's there 24/7. We don't move around a lot. We eat and the kids starts to be obese. It's another problem. It's a health hazard. How do we correct these things? How do we observe these things? How do we say enough is enough? Especially when we're working 2 jobs, 3 jobs. Kids just go in the kitchen, grab themselves some old big old Whopper and get all the ketchup they can get on there and get all the sweets. I mean, and kids love sweets. They don't know the implication. The doctor told me one time, he said, when you hit 30, forget about sweets, forget about sugar when you hit 30s. The kids are only 5, 10, 15, 16 years old. They can take all the sweets they want. Is it healthy? Are we there to say, no, enough is enough? We need to spend time in their word. Spend time in their word. Once in a while, I like to sit on the floor and play with the kids. Just sit on the floor or lie down on the bare floor and just kind of get into my kids' word. Just get into it. Like see what's so important on the floor. Oh, they love that. They go crazy. See and play with their toy cars. Play with the doll, the teddy bear, or the little doll baby, right? It gets them going crazy. I'm like, really? Daddy comes down to my level to talk to me and play with my car and play with my teddy bear. It's so beautiful. So just let's get into that word. When we get tired, our back is giving up, our legs are giving up. We're not strong as we used to be. We want to rest, we want to sleep. But just give it a bit, even once a week. Get into that word. Just spend time and see the things that matters to them. You'll be so amazed. You'll be so amazed what matters to our kids. The pressure we have, the need to pay the bills, the situation on the job, the situation in the community, what people think about you, and the kids don't have any of that worry. They live in their own world. They are not putting up. They don't know. They don't care. They don't see what you're seeing, what you're worrying about. The light is due. It's going to be cut off. The internet is going to go. You got no money. The kids are happy. Happy. They are happy and loving life. They're just happy. Don't you want to be happy? It's a good way to de-stress. Just get into that word. Get in there with the little ones, the little 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 5, 7, 8, 10 years old. Sometimes see the game to play. Minecraft is a big thing. Basketball game and soccer game is a big thing. Just get into that word for a second. They'll love it. They'll love you. They'll love it. Wow. Spend time with them. Because people don't talk in the West. Everything is in books. When you say, oh, can you help me do this? How you get it? Oh, go to www.doityourself.com. What? Everything is reading this book. I want to get this done and that done. Oh, go to www.gotogovernment.com. What? Nobody helps you do anything here. Everything is online, it's on the internet, and they expect everybody to do it. Now, some of us are not computer literate. Some of us are not computer literate. Hey, AG, what's going on down there in Kansas City? We're not computer literate. So how dare you say go online? During the COVID time, we had some challenges. If you have symptoms of COVID, as a parent, you want to be proactive and go and get checked. You go to the place to get checked. They say, we're not taking in person anymore. You have to go online to do the COVID appointment set up. You got 108-degree temperature. You left your home so that you can get some help. You don't want to go back home again because you don't want to get COVID to your family. You got to the clinic said they're not taking you in. You have to go online to make an appointment. What if you cannot do it online? You came here because you needed some help. They said, well, you have to go online. We're not accepting it, I mean, it's a difficult place to live. People don't admit it. People think everybody living in the West are educated and whether born here or foreign born there. No, not everybody's educated. And not being able to read and watch and write English does not mean you are illiterate. No, just because you cannot read and write English doesn't mean you don't know how to take care of a kid. My grandma took care of 12 kids, and she didn't go to school. She took it to 12th grade kids. She didn't go to school. You don't need to be able to speak and write English to be considered educated. Some people speak French. Some people speak Bassa. Some people speak Twi. Some people speak Ebonics. I don't have to be able to speak Oxford or dictionary English to be considered literate. I can be literate in my own word. I just come from different civilization. Right? So the mindset that everybody has to go to www.com, gohelpyourself.com, come on, man. Not everybody can do that stuff, man. Not everybody can do that. So we have to be involved with our children. We have to be engaged. We have to observe them. We have to observe body language. We have to observe tone of voice. It's hurting kids. Their grades are taking a hit. And when their grades take a hit, sometimes they put them in a special ed program. And they don't do well there. They get so angry, they start misbehaving, they start having delinquency. They start having delinquency. Before you know it, they are in the juvenile justice system. I know that. They're in the juvenile justice system. Before you know it, they start living a life of crime. God forbid. That would not be your portion. Start living a life of crime. It all started with behavior issues in the school system that you didn't catch, that some of the schools were not able to address. It became a problem. It became a personal behavior issue because of those negative sentiments from the classroom, the name calling, the bullying, the anger built up over time. The kid now gets so angry and acts out. Guess what? Oh my God, the kid is a bad kid. Violence, assault, got a record. Can't get no good job no more. Yes, a lot of that starts at school, at home. And that's what we address. A lot of that starts at home. We're talking about how do we immigrants raise good kids? When we were not born here, when we were not raised here, how do we raise our kids to be successful? How do we do that? How do we do that? How do we do that and overcome the challenges of the bullying and everything else? We've got to be involved. We've got to watch who they're hanging out with. You got to be hanging out with the right people. Monkey see, monkey do. Hang out with the right people. Participate in PTA. There are a lot of resources out there in PTA. I told you the story of the guy, Sioux Falls, who said that he was always there at all those meetings. Always there. Most of the times, if you ask an immigrant parent and say, hey, yeah, I don't see any people who were not born here, there, sitting with their kids and supporting them. I don't see that a lot. You see, I don't see them. We're not there. Everybody have to go to work. They got excuses. Oh, I got to go to work. Oh, I'm working tonight. What are those kids doing when you're working? Well, I got to work. I got to pay bills. We have to be very, very aware. The West is very big, humongous, and most things are permissible. In other words, the kid can choose not to go to college. I mean, it's a law, you got to go to school, high school, but you don't have to go to college. They have rights to. Just so many things, so many things, so many challenges. So many challenges. And when they get into the criminal justice system, there's no coming back. When they get into the system, there is no coming back. There's no coming back. The record is spoiled. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. So, if you need some conversations because of some behaviors that you observe in your kids, we have a listing of resources, partners that we work with. They are there to provide additional information, whether it's behavior issues. Oftentimes it always starts with behavior issues, which is a reason for displaying that behavior issues. Reach out to us. There's nothing shameful about this. If you have other sources of help, value that source of help. Value that. It is important to know that. If you feel overwhelmed, if you feel you're not efficient, or if you feel there are certain things that you're not understanding, reach out. We have a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of people who, with good heart, who work with the school district, who work with the kid, the teachers who are willing to put in the extra time. But you must first make the effort. Like I said, the police not going to train your kids. The city, the state is not going to train your kids. It's your responsibility to be proactive. Your kid is your responsibility. It is your responsibility. It is your responsibility to raise your kid right. And if you don't, you have nobody to blame. Make the effort. Make the effort. Those are the challenges we are dealing with. We cannot punish our own kids. It's a Western, it's we cannot punish our own kids. You get in trouble. Because every punishment oftentimes is described as abuse. I'm not going to get into that tonight. I'm going to stick with how to raise good kids as immigrants. That's it. I'm not going to get into the trap of what kind of a punishment and no. How to raise good kids. It is possible. It is possible we can have some really, really great kids. It is possible that we can have some Barack Obama. It is possible that we can have many, many Barack Obamas. And maybe not Barack Obama, but just a decent kid. A decent kid born here or came here in their early age and just turned out to be good. The next Zuckerberg. The next Jeff Bezos. It's doable. Discipline. Engagement. Yeah, you can do that too. Take them to the hard house, to the big house. See the big house, right? That's something too. We've always talked about and try to do sometimes. Take them to the big house. Take the parents to the big house first. Is this where you want your kids to be? Yes. Those are preventive measures, because when you see the big house, you will be thinking and you will take some serious adjustments. But if you haven't seen a big house, you just think it's a big house of corrections. So I'm going to close here in 5 seconds, about a minute. You can share, like. We have a YouTube channel. We will be bringing you fresh information for us to be successful. The last time we talked about men's health. Tonight we talk about raising up children in the new world. And we will be telling you, announcing our next subject in a day or so. We come on Wednesday and Thursday and bring you fresh content that relates to all of us. Talk about men's health the last time. We spent about 2 weeks on men's health. And we're talking about raising up children. We might do another episode again of this. Just spend some time on the children, raising up children. It is really a problem for us. A real problem for us, and we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it. We can't just be quiet. We need to talk. What's working? What's not working? And why is it working? And why is it not working? Maybe we need to readjust ourselves because we're in a different culture. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate all your comments, likes, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks. The video came in like 2-3 parts. We got cut off once or twice. I don't know why. So we'll have those clips on our YouTube channel. And we'll talk to you soon now. Take care.